Have you ever stood in front of someone who looks at you but doesn't really see you? Or maybe they do, too much, and that's the problem. They smile when it's safe, they retreat when it's real, they love, but only from a distance. This is not randomness. This is a map of fear, a psychological reflex shaped not by you, but by wounds buried far beneath conscious thought. Carl Jung once said, "What is not made conscious will appear in your life as fate." And this right here, this push-pull, this emotional confusion you're experiencing, this is his fate, playing itself out through you. So, what triggers a dismissive avoidant man? And how do you survive without losing yourself in the process? Emotional closeness, the fear of engulfment. Every time you get too close, he pulls away. It's not that he doesn't want you, it's that somewhere deep inside, closeness feels like suffocation. You become a mirror, reflecting a fear he doesn't have words for. If I let you in, I will lose myself. How to handle it? Do not chase. Do not flood him with more words, more feelings, more explanations. Instead, create space. Breathe. Let him come to you. Paradoxically, it's in your emotional restraint that he feels safest. Expectations, the weight of obligation. When he senses you want more, a future, commitment, labels, his chest tightens. To him, love starts to look like a trap. Another responsibility, another performance he fears he will fail. Jung would call this a projection of his own inner critic, the part of him that says, "I will disappoint you. I will fail you." So he leaves. Before you can confirm this prophecy, how to handle it? Remove the pressure. Focus on the present moment. Be the sanctuary, not the storm. Let your connection unfold organically, without timelines, without ultimatums. For now. Vulnerability, the terror of being seen. If you touch the raw, bleeding parts of him, the childhood wounds, the abandoned boy behind the man, he recoils. He was never taught that vulnerability is safe. Vulnerability to him feels like standing naked in a battlefield. So when you ask him how he feels, and he freezes or changes the subject or makes a joke, understand this. It's not that he doesn't feel, it's that the act of feeling out loud feels like emotional death. How to handle it? Practice emotional attunement. Hold the space. Let silence be safety. Show him that you won't invade, but you'll remain present. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." You're standing in the middle of that unconscious battlefield. Be gentle. Conflict, the fear of rejection, disguised as avoidance. When conflict arises, he runs, shuts down, stonewalls. You think he doesn't care? Wrong. His nervous system is screaming, "Run, before I'm hurt again." Before the argument confirms his deepest belief, "I'm not lovable." He fears the emotional explosion that never came, but was always lurking in his past. How to handle it? Stay calm. Regulate your tone. Use soft starts. "I'm not mad at you. I just want to understand." Or, "This isn't an attack. This is me trying to connect." You're teaching his nervous system that conflict doesn't always equal abandonment. Dependence, the panic of being needed too much. When you lean on him too hard, emotionally, he panics. Not because you're too much, but because he feels too little. He fears he can't meet your needs, that he'll drown under expectations he's unequipped to fulfill. Jung said, "Loneliness does not come from having no people around, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important." That's where he lives, in the loneliness of not knowing how to show up, how to handle it, balance, self-regulate. Show him that your world doesn't collapse without his constant input. Let him see you as emotionally self-sufficient. Ironically, this will make him want to show up more. Intensity, the overwhelm of sudden emotional storms. When you love fiercely, when you pour all your longing, desire, and emotional fire onto him, he shuts down. Your passion becomes pressure. Your love becomes a tidal wave he's never learned how to swim through. For him, slow is safe, gradual is digestible. How to handle it? Match his pace. Let him come to you. Withdraw. Just enough to let him feel the vacuum of your absence. Jung reminds us, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Understand this: if your intensity is a demand, he will disappear. But if your presence becomes an invitation, he may choose to step forward. Ambiguity, the push-pull dance. He gets close, then retreats. Kisses you, then ghosts you for days, opens up, then shuts down. This is the archetypal wound of the wounded lover, drawn close, then repelled by fear. You feel caught in an endless loop. Does he want me or not? Jungian psychology would call this shadow projection. He projects his own inner conflict onto you, then punishes you for making him feel. How to handle it? Detach with love. Don't take the bait of his inconsistency. Hold your center. Be the calm eye in his emotional hurricane. Let him experience that your love is steady, but your self-respect is immovable. Genuine love, the scariest trigger of all. Here's the paradox. The more he feels for you, the more terrified he becomes. You're not the problem. Your love, your light, your ability to truly see him, that is the trigger. Because now, he has something to lose. Carl Jung said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. And loving you means facing himself. How to handle it? Be patient, mirror his feelings, without demanding declarations. Let your actions show that love doesn't have to mean control, or loss of freedom, or emotional collapse. Let him, in his own time, choose to face what scares him the most. Real connection, real intimacy, real love. This isn't about fixing him, or waiting forever. It's about understanding that what you're dealing with isn't rejection, it's resistance. Not to you, but to vulnerability itself. A battle between what he feels and what he dares to show. You're not here to rescue him. You're not here to bleed yourself dry trying to prove you're worthy of love that should flow freely. You're here to love yourself so deeply, so unapologetically, that your very existence becomes a mirror that reflects both his longing and his fear. If he chooses to meet you, let it be from his own healed place. Let it be from choice, not pressure, not manipulation, not emotional begging. You can't pull him out of the shadows, you were never meant to, but you can light a lantern, one that says, "This is who I am. This is where I stand. If you want to walk with me, you'll have to step out of hiding." And if he doesn't, you will still walk forward. Because healing isn't about who stays, it's about who you become in the process. Because in the end, Jung was right. We meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life. And perhaps this connection, this confusing, beautiful, maddening connection, was never about changing him, but about awakening you to your worth, to your power, to your right, to choose love that chooses you back.